morning. It is White's Day. That's right, at the beginning of the Whites. Got in late yesterday afternoon to the Hikers Welcome Hostel. And we did some resupply there. Ran into Trail Angel Mama, who got me some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, some Mountain Dew, some Gatorade. Then drove me into town, if you want to call it a town, to the grocery store. She and her honey, sorry I can't remember his name right now, I apologize. But they gave me a bunch of food for resupply. Still had to add a couple things to that, but thank you, Trail Angel Mama, for all you did to help out yesterday. Very kind. You have a very big heart, helping hikers, and came in very handy on a very hot day, for sure. So got into the Hikers Welcome Hostel late afternoon, rested up and early this morning, up and at 'em very early this morning. It's actually up at dark, wanting to get started at dark. That didn't happen, but pretty darn close to it. And we'll be climbing Moosilauke, the first mountain of the Whites, here right off the bat. We'll be up at that summit in about 5 miles now. Been going for a minute. Looking forward to the beautiful views that should happen today. Looking forward to the climb. Not looking forward to the descent as much, but I'm looking forward to that too, just to see what it's like, because this is the first one of the Whites, and the descent is kind of infamous. So we shall see what we shall see. There's some storms coming in, like anywhere between 12 and 2 I've seen on different weather reports. Definitely want to beat that out, because it's a real steep descent on Moosilauke, and I don't want to really be stuck in any storms or rain coming down that. But once I'm there, I'll reassess to see, because there's 2 different spots I could get off to go to the Notch Hostel. The reason I need to go there is because I have the 3 packages waiting for me. My shoes, my trekking pole piece, and some socks. So I'll reassess whether I want to do that after Moosilauke, or if I want to go up and over both of the Kinsman Mountains. Whew. Haven't even started climbing yet, just because it's early and I'm talking. But need to see if I'll have time to do that before any storms come in. So I'll reassess all that at that point. But for now, I'm just going to tackle Moosilauke and figure everything else out as I go today. It's going to be a great day of conquering. Welcome to the White. Whoa! Where I came from, through that forest, up this road, and now I go this road before going back in the forest. And I believe that's where the big climbing begins. Let's do it. And that is rain. That is drizzle falling on me. It looks like just a cloud right above me. Looks clear beyond that over there. and clear over there. So hopefully it's just this one cloud. Hopefully it's not gonna start raining now on my ascent. No marker to be found, but 3.9 miles before the summit of Mt Moosilauke, I just passed the 1,800 mile mark. Just a couple years ago, that 1,800 mile mark is on top of the mountain. And now it comes 3.9 miles before the summit because they change the Appalachian Trail each year. But what a great feeling, knowing less than 400 miles to go, 397.4 to be exact. And 1,800 miles of my Appalachian Trail Thru-Hike is in the bag. About 3 miles to go to the summit. Climbed about 1,300 so far. I think about 3,000 more to go in those 3 miles. The good news is I think I'm starting to get high enough now where it's starting to cool down a little bit. That's good because it's real swampy again today, especially when it starts drizzling. It starts off really thick with moisture since I've been in New Hampshire. Like you could see the fog or the steam moving, or in this case, you can literally feel the rain coming down. By 90 to 100% humidity every morning so far. Then the humidity gets a little better as the day progresses, but then it gets hotter. So I'll be up to 4,700 feet at the top of this mountain, so should be somewhat cool. And especially since by then I'll be sweating pretty good. So feel really nice and cool. A little bit of what I've been climbing. Nothing too bad. Pretty straightforward. No scrambles, as of yet at least. Just grinding it. Oh, probably close to 1,000 feet a mile. The steepness on this particular part, not too bad. Nothing like that 0.2 mile on Killington. It was 2,000 feet a mile for only 0.2 of a mile, but it was steep. This isn't quite that steep, so. And that was some scrambly type of rocks. This is more just like stepping over. So far so good. Keep it going. Getting to the top. Absolutely beautiful up here. It's starting to cool down quite a bit. I mean, not cool, like cold. It's nice. It might be 65 or 70 here. I think I'm around 3,000 right now. About another 1,700 or so to go. That's a guesstimate because I haven't looked lately. I just keep climbing. Get into a darker part of the forest. Absolutely beautiful. Probably doesn't show up as good on the camera. Actually looks a little foggy on the camera. It's not foggy at all in this spot, so that's just humidity that somehow the camera picks up. Good climb so far. Steep at times. Pretty straightforward. Over rocks, over roots. Nothing sketchy. I've heard the sketchier part though is on the descent, so we'll see how that goes when coming down, but we'll wait to see what happens going up too, because who knows what's going to go in the next 1,500 or so. One and a half miles to go, 1,000 feet more of elevation. Been a very steady climb. Has some steepness at times, but nothing bad. Rocks are more like steps than they are scrambles when there are rocks. Some of them are slippery, but most are not. On the descent, it runs right next to a creek or a falls the whole time, so those are probably all going to be wet over there. There's here in about a half a mile, there's a side trail to the south peak of Moosilauke. I will not be taking that. I normally would, as you all know. I take most side trails that go to a summit, but the main summit has vast views, and that south one isn't going to show a whole lot more. It might show a different direction or a little more of a certain direction. Obviously the views will be a little different, but not by much. Main reason I'm going to skip by that because I am trying to beat out some storms today. So I want to get up, be able to spend a little time up at the summit before moving on to get down to where I'll be getting picked up to go to the notch to pick up my 3 packages that I have there. And hopefully I'll beat out the storm, and then I'll reassess what I need to do at that point. If I have time to tackle the Kinsmans before rain comes in, might do that, and might not. I don't know. I do have a lot of things to do today, even though I stopped yesterday at the hostel there to sleep and to get a little resupply because I had no food left. It was definitely not enough time to do anything I need, like upload videos and such. So I need to do that today, and really need to see about the weather because there's gonna be a pretty large amount of rain coming over the next, 36 hours or so. So need to figure out what I'm doing. And for now, just wanted to get up and down Moosilauke before any storms come in and go from there. beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Sun's starting to peek through, busting through those clouds. Could be an epic view up there. Oops. Can barely see anything through those trees, but a little bit. Gonna see a lot more here soon. A little bit of a view in between the trees from about 3,900 up, I think. Gonna get a lot better at the top. Yeah, it is. A little hazy over here. I can see low-lying clouds with what's coming in a little later today. Come to a little cruisier part of the trail here with the last point, 7.5, 3/4 of a mile, just past the side trail to the south peak of Moosilauke. And there's about 350 more feet to go only. The worst of the climb is over, and it never was that bad at all. A good workout, but nothing too extremely sleep. Maybe I need to go to sleep. Nothing too extremely steep. Getting excited. Gonna be above tree line here soon and see my first views of the whites. I'm excited! Almost above tree line. Little teaser there. Oh yeah. Half a mile to go, about 250 of elevation, and I believe right up there is where I'm going, the summit of Moosilauke. And then I think I'll descend down there, and then I noticed over here when I got up and seen that teaser, it drops like that. So I don't know if that's where I'm going down or not. I know it's a steep descent, so that could be it, but there's Moosilauke. I'm coming for you. Here with all the Christmas trees. Right up there is the summit. And this is the big drop off I was talking about. I don't know if that's where I descend or not. Oh my goodness, look at that beauty. I'm not even at the summit yet. And it's gorgeous. myself right now. Standing on the summit of Mt Moosilauke, the first summit of the White Mountains. A good steady climb, a little steep, but not bad at all. I like steep, it'll get you to the mountain a little quicker, or to the summit, I should say. Oh, it is absolutely gorgeous. A little hazy over that direction, probably from the storms coming in and the extremely high humidity. Absolutely gorgeous. And Mt Moosilauke is in the bag. Some views from the north end of the summit. And this is northeast over here. You can tell which ones are the big ones. Those are where I'm going now. I don't know which one's which, but that's the whites, my friend. Right now, just kind of the bluish silhouettes because of the haze, but oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Yeah, baby. Let's do it. Descending Moosilauke now, and not sure when it starts getting a little hairy and steep, but I know that it's when it's close to the water, like runs right along the water for a while. I'm obviously not at the water yet, still kind of above tree line, just now starting to get back into tree line a little bit. Hasn't been too bad, rocky, a lot of scree, but nothing too bad yet, so we shall see. I do have the people from Notch Hostel picking me up at 11, trying to make sure I'm there by 11. It gives me a couple hours to get down, and hopefully I will make that. Always stresses me out a little though when I'm meeting a shuttle driver, because, well, you know, you're trying to get there and you're trying not to be late, especially when you're someone like me who, with your own time, you're late. So I try to get there early. It's like 3.6 when I left the summit. So I don't know, probably 3.2 now. Miles down, which that's easy to do, obviously, on a descent on a normal day in a normal terrain. In 2 hours, that's more like an hour. But unfortunately, this is not going to be a normal descent, normal day, or normal terrain. So, see what happens. I'm going to try my best to get down there so they don't have to keep waiting for me, and so forth. Want to get my packages and then reassess what I'm doing today. We shall see. Right up there is Mt Moosilauke. Already came down that far from it. Little side trail, a little spur trail, if you want to call it that, just a little step over basically, to this beautiful cold mud hole, which I already, as you can see, got squished. Be smarter this time and take the big step. I keep going up though on my descent. That is just making it worse for later. Goodness. I do remember seeing that kind of like a profile or whatever you want to call it from a distance where it started descending. It kind of went down and then took a little bump up before it went down again, and that's kind of where it got steep. So we shall see. I keep going up. It's flat and then it goes down and then it goes up again. I don't want to go up. That's a horrible descent. There was one scrambly part so far. Wasn't that bad. Had to use hand over hand sometimes on that part, but nothing too bad. This is getting a little steeper here as we're back in the forest. Hasn't gotten to the I think it's called Beaver Brook. That's supposedly where you're walking right by the waterfall. So it's constantly wet and steep like a waterfall. And that's where there's a lot of steps and like bolted right into the rock because it's so steep to help with it. But some of those can be slip and wet. Slick. I'll get it right yet. Slick and wet. But it's descending good now. Haven't went up for a minute. That was so weird. Up, down, up, down, up, down. But as you can see, it's a little bit steep. Nothing too bad yet though, because when it is, I will not be video recording that. I almost said videotaping. How old am I? I will not be videotaping that on my VHS or on my beta. Remember those, the beta recorders? I never had one growing up, but heard about them. I guess they never just took off like the VHS. Hardly anyone ever shows a descent here. Oh gee, I wonder why. So far I'm making good time. I'm getting down here. So it's gonna really depend on that last 3/4 of a mile of that waterfall down to the parking lot where it gets quite steep. Depends how fast I get down that, but for right now I'm making pretty good time. All right. and starting to get wet. Hear that water running all the way down, all the way up. That's the trail. Basically, this little creek is running right down the trail. So all the rocks are slippery. Every once in a while you can find a little, like here, it's able to go around the edge of this tree where it's a little drier. But those rocks are all slick. Gotta take your time for sure. And now I can finally see the brook, the little waterfall, the cascade going down that I'm walking along this whole time. That's the first time I've seen it. I've just been coming down a lot of stuff like this. So far, not too bad. It's actually kind of fun bouldering, and there's trees everywhere, so I get to keep grabbing onto those. Hopefully that remains. It's the 3/4 section, I think, that's supposed to be kind of sketchy because of like wooden steps bolted into rock faces. So see how that goes. So far, not going too bad at all. Here's the beginning of some of those steps bolted into the rock. Not too bad. Looks like it goes a few here right along the edge of the waterfall, then goes back into the forest. And it goes all the way down. And it appears the descent is over, or at least the hairy part. Only one part was a little hairy, and that was just butt scootable. Had to scoot like 12 inches. A couple times I had to go down and kind of squat down to reach the next stone or twig or whatever I was gonna get to. It was fun actually, but it was slow. Very slow. Let's put it this way, if a bear was chasing me, I would have been in trouble. It was definitely a slow go, about 20 minutes late for what I guesstimated that I would get down there. Actually, they're the ones who pick up at 11:02 or 4 or 11:04 and 7 or something like that. And I said, I think I could get there by 11. So I let them know that, at 11 o'clock, I was still 0.7 away. Thank goodness I had service so I could let them know. They said to let them know when I got to the parking lot, so I guess that means they're still going to be able to pick me up because I sure don't want to wait there till 4. Oh, that was fun, sort of. Have a big migraine going on right now, just the heat and pouring sweat, and drink as much as I can. Probably the loud noise of the water rushing, but besides that, feeling pretty good. Well, like I said, only one hairy section there. Everything else was very manageable. A lot of rocks you can hold on to, a lot of trees you can hold on to. So whenever you get into trouble, and not in trouble, but a step that might be a little too much or a little too slippery, a little bit of scrambling, but not too much. All in all, I don't think it's near as bad as what some people make it out to be. Now, obviously, it hadn't been raining, and here's that same brook down at the bottom. Basically just walked alongside it like we were best friends for a minute. All right, I'm gonna go see if my shuttle driver's out here and see if I could get to the hostel and take a shower. At least dry off, if not shower, because I still might go do Kinsman today. I don't know. But that was fun. First mountain ascension and descension. Looking forward to the rest of them here in the Whites. It's really just one step at a time. It's always just one step at a time, and overcoming and pushing forward. All right, so I am here at the Knot Hostel. I am not going to be going on to South and North Kinsman today. This is the hostel behind me. It's a real nice place. One of the nicer places that I've seen and been to. I see why they've won so many awards. I almost said rewards. It's awards, not rewards. Real nice place though. I might show you a little bit if I think about it. I got some things to do. I've been uploading videos. These clothes are not my clothes. These are loaner clothes that you wear while your other clothes are getting washed. So that's what's happening right now. Going to be going into town at 5:30, getting something to eat. A little shuttle that comes from here into the closest town, which is Woodstock, I believe. New Hampshire, of course. And just getting everything done here. Got my packages. Everything arrived safely, so that's good. And just going to be uploading videos, getting everything ready for tomorrow. I should be heading back out tomorrow to do the Kinsman Mountains. The only way I would not is if it's just a deluge of rain, because it's looking right now they're like supposed to be 1 to 2 inches of rainfall tomorrow. I don't know if a system from a tropical storm is going through or something. I don't know. I've heard a couple different things. I don't know. But it's definitely, it was tomorrow and the next day, and now it's just tomorrow with a very slight chance the following day. So that's probably a good thing. It could change again by tomorrow, but if it's a light rain, I'm going to go tomorrow anyway. But if not, I might have to take a zero here if it's a heavy all-day rain with a couple inches of rain. I'll play that one by ear, but for now, I'm staying here tonight and planning on being out there tomorrow. That's the plan. So I'll figure that out as I go. Have everything done and ready to go in the morning, and on to the Kinsman after a beautiful day of Moosilauke Mountain. This is the backyard. People can tent out there. Nice little grill here, some tables. Yes, I'm drinking coffee in 85-degree weather. Over here's where we put the backpacks and poles so they don't take them inside, and shoes. I have these Crocs on, but these are not mine. These are actually loaner Crocs. This is the house here with several bunk rooms, some private rooms. Look at this, a blacktop parking lot. It's a really nice place. I would definitely come check it out if you're in the area, or if you're doing the Whites. Come check this hostel out. But I'm gonna go finish everything up, get some good food in me, get some good calories in me, and get ready to go out to South and North Kinsman tomorrow and continue going north. Well, under 400 miles to go now at this point. I'm loving the Whites, and I'm loving New Hampshire, and I'm loving conquering. Live life, people.